Joe Mobster here. I am working on a tutorial right now for how to make your own at-home green screen. Yeah. Um, this green screen is only for people that don't have a home office, or even if you do have a home office, you can probably end up using this thing as well. I feel like it's going to be a pretty decent, green screen when we're done with it. Pretty versatile and pretty easy to set up. I mean, it could be for any beginner. If you don't have any experience in, constructing things, this is going to be a pretty simple tutorial. Um, we're going to start with cutting small holes about the size of probably about a little smaller than a dime on the ends of this. This cloth is 6x9. I got it from Amazon for about 11 or 12 bucks. Pretty easy. Doesn't set you back too far. We're gonna stick these eyelets. As you can see, eyelets in the fabric. It comes with a little setting tool and everything like that. You can get it from any fabric store. Joann is where I got mine from. I know. I'm just a seamstress by heart. But yeah, you make the small holes in it. You stick the little eyelets in. You use a little setting tool, and then you smash it with a hammer into there. The whole grand scheme of it is we're gonna set these hooks. We're gonna set them in the ceiling. They're not really long enough to set into any kind of support beams, the 2x4s in the ceiling. So we don't really have the ability to do that with these, but we do have some anchors. Wow, anchors! You can buy them from Home Depot. Same with the hooks. Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you can possibly think of hardware supplies. But these anchors are the ones that actually kind of alligator out, I guess shark out, sharky. They open up so that if you got any tension pulling on the blanket, you got a cat or some kids or anything like that. As you can see, we have kids yanking on it. Then you can actually just have some support there, actually. But also, if you don't want people to see your stuff behind you, or even if you're just not even, if you don't even have the chroma function on your stream source, you can still kind of set this up as a nice little U behind you, give you some space. And then, of course, obviously, this is for use of my chroma capability on my streaming on XSplit. But more of that later.
All right, guys, so we're back, and we've got our eyelets opened up here, and as you can see, here is the hammer tool that the ring part of the eyelet will be hammered down into the tooth side of it, the little tooth side right there. So the general way that you would have this set up is you would take the bottom ring, which is a little thicker. It looks exactly like all these other pieces, but you would put that down, and what you would do is you would take this guy right here and you would put that right there, and you would have your cloth with the hole cut in it, and you would slip that right over the outside of this ring right here so that it would be flush around it. And then on the top side, you would put that right over it, and then you would stick this guy right on top so you get a better visual. And meanwhile, your fabric is right in between the crack right here, right in between these two pieces. And then you just literally take your hammer and tap it. And you want to make sure that you've got a good hard surface. This is concrete under here. This is just laminate flooring, so I'm not really worried about it taking too much damage. But as far as making sure that you've got something hard, don't do it on a table, don't do it on a chair. Make sure you've got a sturdy surface, nothing that's going to bounce back at you and create it to where you can't get a good, seal between the cloth. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick ringlet, or eyelet rather, on a little test piece of cloth so that you can see, and then I will show you the final product of the actual green. All right, so we've got some white cloth just to show you, just for, you know, demonstrative purposes. So what you'll start with is the little top hat looking deal here, and you'll just trace your hole right in the middle with it, because you just want a hole that's going to fit right around the top of the top hat. So once we've done that, you can use a X-Acto knife or scissors, whatever you're more comfortable with. It does not have to be an exact hole. It can be a very jaggedy, raggedy hole. You can even make just kind of a crosshair in your fabric, or even, you know, just like that is okay. It does not need to be fancy whatsoever, because it is going to be covered up by the ringlet entirely. So we're gonna put the cloth around it like that. And my hole's a little bit bigger, but that's all right. It's not a big deal. It'll hammer right over it. So we're gonna take the tooth part of the ringlet, the eyelet, we're gonna just sit that right over the top like that. Like so. Okay. And then we're going to stick this guy, the hockey puck looking deal, underneath the top hat, so that it's sitting on it as like a nice little stand for it, keep it in place. And then we're gonna take our hammering piece, like our little setting piece here, and we're just gonna hit it hard enough, and you can feel it set in there. And then once you pull it out, you have an eyelet. And you can't tell that it was a, you know, jagged, crappy looking, you know, little hole we made by just making crosshairs. It looks professionally done, and it's ready for a hook.
Hey guys, we're back again. So we've put all of our eyelets inside of our green screen, if I can find the end here. And this is what it should look like. We've got some, oh, there's a little mark there when I was going to put the circle, but I decided not to. Which nobody's going to look at that side anyway, because, I mean, let's face it, it's going to be hanging in the sky. Well, if you consider your ceiling the sky, which I do in my house. Don't judge me. So you've got your ringlets, eyelets, whatever you want to call them. They look pretty. They look nice. They look ready. So we're going to put them on the hook, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Woo! So this is the green screen. It's up. It's hanging by the hooks, as previously mentioned. You want to make sure that you space your hooks, obviously, you know, equidistant from each other as the eyelets are, obviously. Obviously. How much more obvious can I get here? What is this? Ugh. Anyways, so we've got it up and running. Everything looks good. I'm going to give you all a demonstration now of exactly what we can do with this green screen now that we've got this nice little overlay. Let's see here. So we can do something like this right here. Up. See, you got to start messing with the colors to make sure that they blend well, like that. Because you want to make sure that you've got a good light source in front of you to get the green screen behind you. And you can see the little bit of flickering and stuff like that right here. That's just because you've got to mess with the colors. You got to mess with the shading and the lighting and everything like that. That just comes with the territory of messing with a green screen. This is just one of the stupid little overlays that I did, but as you can see, I'm completely cut out from the green screen. It's just me with my chair. That's all you see in whatever background that I decide. That's pretty decent. That's okay. we can always work out those little details right there, the little fuzzies kind of around me. Those can be worked out with reshading, lighting, brightness, and everything. But as I said before, the key thing you want to work with here is your lighting. You want to make sure you've got a good, bright projection onto your green screen. Otherwise, you're going to get issues where you've got that right there where it's fading out and everything. So lighting is key. Once you've got that down, I mean, you could even use yellow. You know, chroma is pretty versatile. But that's all I got, guys. I appreciate you staying by and watching and seeing the setup. If you have any other questions about how, any of this went down, if I wasn't straightforward enough, or if you have any questions on how to set it up or whatever, or you'd like a tutorial on how to set up your chroma key, just let me know. Stay classy.